Welcome to Speak and Feel English, the podcast designed to help you build confidence, clarity, and fluency in American English through meaningful conversation. I'm Mia.
And I'm Ethan. Today's episode focuses on one of the most powerful and practical methods to improve your English skills, learning through dialogue. Instead of memorizing isolated vocabulary lists or reviewing grammar rules without context, we will explore how real conversations can transform your fluency.
Many learners spend years studying English, but still feel uncomfortable when speaking. The reason is simple. Language is meant to be used, not stored. Dialogue forces you to use the language actively, rather than passively observing it.
Exactly. When you practice through dialogue, you are training your brain to think in English rather than translate from your first language. That shift is what creates natural flow.
And flow is more important than perfection. People often wait until they feel ready to speak. But readiness does not come before practice. It comes because of practice.
That is such an important mindset change. Dialogue-based learning also develops listening skills simultaneously. When you listen to real conversations, you hear how sentences connect, how ideas transition, and how tone changes meaning.
Yes, tone carries emotion. For example, the sentence, "That's interesting," can express genuine curiosity or polite disagreement, depending on how it is spoken. Dialogue helps you recognize those subtleties.
Another benefit is exposure to natural expressions. Textbooks often teach formal structures, but daily conversations include contractions, linking sounds, and conversational fillers.
Such as, well, you know, or I mean. These small phrases make speech sound authentic. Without them, your English may sound grammatically correct, but slightly unnatural.
Let us talk about confidence. Why does dialogue practice increase confidence more effectively than silent study?
Because confidence is built through action. When you speak repeatedly, your brain reduces fear responses. Familiarity replaces anxiety.
So repetition is not boring. It is neurological training.
Precisely. Each conversation strengthens neural pathways associated with English expression.
I also believe dialogue teaches adaptability. Real conversations are unpredictable. You must respond in real time.
And that skill cannot be developed through memorization alone. It requires interaction.
So throughout this episode, we will demonstrate how dialogue functions as both a learning method and a practice environment.
And as you listen, pay attention not only to what we say, but how we say it, transitions, emphasis, and clarity.
Let us begin exploring practical strategies for applying dialogue learning effectively.
Suppose someone wants to start improving their English using dialogue immediately. What would you recommend as the first practical step?
I would recommend consistent exposure to structured conversations. Listening daily to well-paced discussions helps your brain absorb rhythm and structure naturally.
Consistency seems to be the key factor in language acquisition.
Absolutely. Even 20 minutes of focused listening and speaking every day can create noticeable improvement over time.
Let us discuss shadowing, because many learners are unfamiliar with that technique.
Shadowing involves listening to a short segment of dialogue and repeating it simultaneously. You mimic pronunciation, speed, and intonation.
That technique improves pronunciation quickly because it trains muscle memory.
Yes, your mouth becomes accustomed to English sound patterns. Over time, pronunciation becomes smoother and more automatic.
What about learners who do not have speaking partners?
They can practice simulated dialogue. Pause an audio conversation and respond aloud as if you were part of the discussion.
That transforms passive listening into interactive learning.
Exactly. Engagement increases retention. When you respond, you activate recall rather than recognition.
There is an important difference between recognizing a word and producing it.
Production requires deeper cognitive processing. That is why dialogue practice accelerates fluency.
I also suggest recording yourself. Listening to your own speech reveals patterns you may not notice while speaking.
It may feel uncomfortable at first, but self-evaluation is powerful. You become aware of pacing, pronunciation, and clarity.
Let us discuss vocabulary growth. How does dialogue help expand vocabulary more effectively than memorization?
Because vocabulary learned in context is easier to remember. When you hear a word connected to a situation, your brain stores it with emotional and situational associations.
So context strengthens memory encoding.
Exactly. And when you reuse new vocabulary in your own dialogue, you transform passive knowledge into active competence.
That transformation is the foundation of fluency.
Yes, fluency is active language. Now, let us explore psychological barriers. Many learners hesitate to speak because they fear making mistakes.
Fear of mistakes is one of the biggest obstacles to fluency.
Yet, mistakes are evidence of progress. If you never make mistakes, you are not stretching your ability.
That is a powerful perspective. Dialogue creates a safe space for experimentation.
Exactly. In supportive practice environments, mistakes become learning opportunities rather than sources of embarrassment.
Another barrier is overthinking grammar while speaking.
When you focus excessively on grammar mid-sentence, fluency decreases. Dialogue trains you to prioritize clarity first.
Grammar improves naturally with exposure and repetition.
Yes, especially when you consistently hear correct sentence structures in conversation.
Let us talk about structured responses. How can learners organize their thoughts during dialogue?
A simple framework works well. Opinion, explanation, example, conclusion.
That structure provides direction and reduces hesitation.
Exactly. Organized thinking supports confident speaking.
Confidence grows when communication feels controlled rather than chaotic.
And that control develops through practice.
So dialogue is both language training and confidence training.
Absolutely.
Let us consider cultural awareness. Why is it important in dialogue learning?
Because language reflects cultural expectations. Politeness, tone, and directness vary significantly.
For instance, indirect requests often sound more professional in American English.
Instead of saying, "Send me the report," you might say, "Could you please send me the report when you have a moment?"
That phrasing sounds collaborative rather than demanding.
Dialogue exposure teaches these nuances naturally.
It also introduces idiomatic expressions.
Yes, idioms appear frequently in everyday conversation. When you learn them through context, you understand appropriate usage.
Cultural awareness improves not only language accuracy, but social effectiveness.
Exactly. Communication is about connection, not just correctness.
Let us also mention adaptability across topics.
Dialogue practice should include diverse themes such as career, travel, technology, education, and personal growth.
Variety strengthens vocabulary flexibility.
And flexibility builds conversational resilience.
As we conclude today's discussion, let us reflect on the central idea. Learning English through dialogue transforms passive study into active communication.
Combines listening, speaking, pronunciation, emotional awareness, and cultural understanding.
It strengthens neural pathways through repetition and engagement.
It reduces fear by increasing familiarity.
And it builds confidence through consistent interaction.
Remember, fluency is not about speaking perfectly. It is about expressing ideas clearly and naturally.
Speak regularly, even if conversations are short.
Listen attentively and observe patterns.
Respond thoughtfully and experiment with new vocabulary.
Improvement is gradual, but consistency guarantees progress.
If this episode helped you understand how to learn English effectively through dialogue, continue practicing with us.
For more videos and all the podcast episodes, subscribe to the channel Speak and Feel English.
Keep speaking.
Keep improving.
And most importantly, keep feeling English.